like this morning, train horn's going off again. And it went off earlier today too. It's gone off 3 times in my apartment sink today. There it goes. You hear it. It's gone off 3 times synced today. I just came out of my bathroom, and right at that moment, the train horn is going off again. It's right at that moment. So that's just every day pretty much. It's a train horn. I think I haven't been hearing it for a few days, if I think about it, but most days I am hearing it. Every time I hear a train horn. Like every horn honk isn't synced necessarily, but every time I hear it start up though, like the first time that the train horn honks, every time. And the same thing with sirens. The same thing with most sounds. Cars honking and engine sounds and car alarms and car doors. Most of those things. The train horn is going off again as this car is pulling up and parking. And it's a blue car. And there was a whitey in the background too. And then there's another blue truck driving by. And the train horn stops honking right as the blue truck drives around the corner of the building. And then he's coming back around with the whitey driving out. Oh! And it was really nice yesterday. And then there was these chemtrails in the sky. And then it just got cloudy all of a sudden really fast and windy and cold really fast. Like the temperature just plummeted. And it was just cold and windy after they sprayed all these chemtrails in the sky. They turned into clouds right before my eyes as I walked to Walmart. You guys ever just see chemtrails in the sky and then they turn into clouds and then the whole sky is cloudy? Because I do all the time. And the train horn is going off again. He's probably going off with this car driving in the parking lot that's driving by me right now. That looks synced up with the whitey driving by in the street. But yeah, I just want to say the train horn was going off again, synced, and it was really loud both times. Like they started it like when it's like close to my apartment. And then last night, or like this morning or whatever, I woke up and went back to sleep. There was a siren going off that like my water heater turned on at the same time as the siren or something like that. I don't remember. It was something like that. And I think like my neighbors were making a noise at the same time too or something. I don't remember. I was like half asleep, but something like that happened, and the siren was like really close to my apartment. And then there's that cop with his siren on the last video. And then they're opening the garage door of the fire station at the same time. And then the fire truck drove by me synced. And then I was like, watch, the fire truck's gonna be back, isn't he? And then he comes back later on the video when I'm coming out of Walgreens. When I get across the street, the fire truck is driving by me. I was like, yup. I knew he's gonna be back. He didn't have his siren on though, but the cop did though, and he drove out right when I got to the street. It was all orchestrated, just like every cop and every fire truck that I possibly ever seen in my entire life, maybe, or however long. They're just driving around synchronized. There's someone walking up, and they're probably gonna synchronize, and they probably walked out of a car synchronized. And that car honking was probably synchronized with her walking up with a red purse. She's probably got a red purse deliberately, maybe. And then there's a blue truck driving out, and then he's syncing with the car, and then I heard a noise over there that maybe was a stalker sound, or I just hear all these weird tapping noises in my apartment sometimes. It sounds like it's like in the walls or whatever. My refrigerator just makes all these weird noises, like it will just be like. And then there's this truck driving by. He's a black truck, and then there's gonna be a silver car. I see a blue truck. It's just stupid, dude. But I don't know. This is really demented, you know? I'm seeing a bunch of stalkers driving by, synchronized with each other. It's non-stop stalkers the entire time that I've been looking out my window right now. And they all drive out synced, and then they all go around the last corner synced, and then there's no more cars after that. And then more stalkers drive out, and they're all synced, and it's white and blue and silver and black, and they're synced. What else? I was walking by a school the other day, and there's all these children outside, or there was like at least one of them that was doing the sink screaming thing. And that's just like always when I walk by a school with children outside playing, they'll be like they'll all be screaming, because they're outside playing, right? But then like one of them will just be screaming extra louder than the other ones. And just right at the intersection, and then right when you get across the street, or right at the center of the street, or whatever, right at specific places, like over and over. I'm just always hearing that when I walk by schools where there's children outside playing, or like outside of their house playing, or whatever. And like I've recorded videos where it's kind of obvious that that's what's happening on certain videos. I don't know which ones. You just have to go watch all my live streams, find it. But it's a lot of them though. Like I'll just walk up to the intersection and there'll be kids outside playing, and they're just like, ah! And they're just like, yeah, woo! Or whatever. Or like I've seen multiple kids like fall off of their scooter right next to me. And then I've seen, I just like every time I see people with their children, pretty much, they're gang stalkers. Or every time I see children out by themselves, they're gang stalking me. Pretty much every time. Oh, I've been getting hit with directed energy weapons in my head all day. In my ear. Whatever you call it. Ringing in my ear thing. Is it a directed energy weapon, or are they scanning my brain or something? I don't know, it feels weird though. I think it's some type of directed energy weapon thing. They do it all the time, and like I'll hear someone walking out in the hallway, and then like right as they walk by, I'll start to feel the ringing in my ear. There's all these black cars driving out all at once right now, and a tan car. And then there's no more cars when the last car goes around the corner. I just see synced cars, and then I see no more cars when the last car goes around the corner, synced. You just drive out synced, and then I see the last car go around the corner, and it's synced, and then there's no more cars. And then they all drive out synced. And then it repeats. And then it's a Groundhog's Day. And then occasionally I'll see a couple cars that look regular, and then I'm like, were they? I don't know. And then there's just always people outside of my apartment that'll just come out and be like talking really loud and like yelling and like laughing and shit. And like when I go outside, there's always people like laughing at me and shit and like weird shit. I'm hearing an engine sound when I walk up. Is that a stalker? See a white car. See a guy walking up. I saw a guy walking up to the intersection with the white car, and then when he walks around the corner of the building, there's a bird flying by the corner of the building at the same time, like right in front of the guy. Like he just walks around the corner of the building, and then there's a bird flying in front of the building, right in front of where he is. And then there's more of them, and then there's more of them, and they're white and black, and there's a bunch of them, and then there's more of them with those ones, and then this green car is probably one. I don't know about the green car, but all the other cars though, like 20 of them, all black and silver and white cars. And then there's no more cars. Wow. Just keeps happening like that. And then the AC outside my apartment is turned on, synced with the truck going around the corner, and another car meeting in a sync too, and then more syncs. It's just always more and more syncs. They never run out of syncs. Yeah, they were hitting me with direct energy weapons today, and it was like, usually it'll just like ring for a minute, like it only lasts like a minute or whatever. But then today it was lasting longer. It just kept doing it. Just kept doing it. And then my refrigerator's on. Did it turn on at a synced moment? Probably. I didn't catch when it turned on, but it was probably at a synced moment. Maybe my camera caught it. I don't know. There's someone walking in the building right now. There's a car driving out right as they open the door. probably synced, man. It was probably just timed like that purposefully. Retardedly. And then when I walk over here, if I look out the window, is there a stalker right now? Not yet. Uh, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of blue cars lately, though. Since however long. Like 2 weeks ago or whatever. Maybe 3 weeks or whatever. I've been seeing blue cars. I think it's probably like 2 weeks. I've been seeing blue cars everywhere. And it's still like a bunch of it's still like the white cars and the tan cars too, but like they just throw blue cars in. Like I'm just seeing blue cars meeting me at intersections all the time and stuff like that. Seeing synced up blue cars everywhere. If you look at my videos, there's synced up blue cars everywhere, right? All the recent ones. Like it'll just be quiet in here. Like I'll be doing something, and it'll just be quiet in here. And then like right when I like stand up or whatever, there'll be truck engine outside. Like it'll just be quiet for a really long period of time sometimes. But then most of the time they're making constant noises throughout the daytime. And then everything slows down in the nighttime. But yeah. Here's a whitey. He's synced with the other cars. And then the AC outside my apartment just turned off when I walked away from the window. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything I've never mentioned before. Like, I don't know. The other day I was getting a ride from my grandma, and she's just saying all this sync stuff, doing directed conversation. Like whenever I'm getting a ride from someone, they're doing either directed conversation or they're just like as we drive through intersections, Like right as we go through the intersection, they'll like hit their turn signal or like turn the music up and down or on or off or change the song or scratch their nose or their head or whatever, cough. So like we were driving through intersections and she was doing like directed conversation. She was just like talking about jail. She said the word jail at one intersection, and then she said program at another intersection, and then I forget what else, but it's stuff like that though. And she's just like telling me a story, but she's like saying these words right at the intersection though. And they always say the word program synced and talk about jail synced. Like those two things, they say those things synced. So it was synced. But yeah, there's a blue truck driving out right now. He's syncing with an ambulance driving out. There's just a blue truck syncing up with an ambulance right now. And then there's the whiteys. So now, and then there's a school bus. What's he doing? I bet he was stalking. But now, they got me looking at all these different colors of cars. Just like, oh, here comes another one, you know? Like, my brain registers a blue car now as a gang stalker, even if it's just sitting in a parking lot. Like I just see a blue car now, my brain is instantly like gang stalker. Isn't that crazy? There's a siren going off right now when I walk up to the window. Right when I walked up to the window. Are they gonna drive by me? No, they're not gonna drive by me.